Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I'm going to do a kiss pour. I was going to do something else, but I think I need to make some room to extend my tripod up higher because I wanted to paint on this, but it's not going to fit in the camera properly. So that will be tomorrow's job. I finish work a bit earlier tomorrow, so early start, early finish, and when I get home I'm going to set up where I've got paint bottles all up here next to my tripod, so I can't make a lot of space. And because I got to get up early in the morning, I'm not going to bother doing it tonight. So I'm doing a kiss pour in. I'm going to do kind of warm colours and cool colours on one side, so I will be doing melon sorbet, which this bottle I'm getting low on, and I think I've only got one more bottle of it, so I can't get more of this at the moment. I'm really disappointed because I love it. So it'll be melon sorbet, magenta, and dawn. So I've got three pinks, or two that look nearly the same, but this one is a complete transparent when the other one is an opaque. So because the melon sorbet is opaque, I want to have a transparent, another transparent, and just one opaque. So that was my reasoning for going with that colour. Then on the other side, I'm going to have turquoise, ultraviolet, and cobalt hue, which is the blue. And I've also mixed up white and black. I have purposely only mixed up a half mixture of black because I want a little bit in there, but I don't want it to take over. So these are my measurements, but I made these paints about 2 hours ago and I let them settle, and I've come back and a couple of them have thickened up. So as you can see, there's more purple than there is the blue because the purple, well, the ultraviolet thickened up. So did the magenta. The melon sorbet and the white thickened up too. Not as much as the ultraviolet thickened up a lot. So originally they were 15 grams paint and 35 grams floetrol. But I've added more floetrol to some of them to try to get them at a more even consistency. They're all still a little bit thick. So like this blue was probably my runniest one, and it's still relatively thick. But I'm leaving it as this because I've tried to make them all relatively even, which should be good enough. The black, I did 7 grams paint and 17 grams floetrol, and I think I added a tiny bit to that as well. So it's probably 7 grams to 20 for the black, and the colours were 15 grams paint, 35 grams floetrol. Maybe some of them even went up to 45, approximately. I don't once I've measured them as this, when I need to make them runnier, I don't remeasure it. I just add until when I stir it, it feels the same pushback as the stick going around. It's hard to kind of explain. It's taken me a while to learn the consistencies myself, but because I'm doing a painting every day, I'm starting to pick up how the paint feels in the consistency. So it's something that you can give a rough estimate, but you kind of got to learn it for yourself to a degree. So I'm just going to put these out of my way. And this magenta was a new magenta that I only just brought today, because my old magenta is really, and same, oh no, I didn't use that colour. It's thickened up because I've had it probably 2 years now and I hadn't used it a lot. So I didn't want to use it because I don't like its thickness. It's harder for me to get the right consistency. But so this is the plan. I'm going to use paper cups because I want to pinch them. I want to have it quite direct pour, not a messy pour, if that makes sense. Now, I'm probably going to do a couple of layers in these. I don't want it to be, because if I do just one layer, like one colour, one colour, one colour, it ends up being on the outer edge, and then when you tilt it, it ends up pouring off, and you lose that colour completely. So I thought, no, I want to kind of have it this way. So I want the opaque in between the two pinks. So because the magenta's got the most, we'll go with this one first, and I'm going to pour it into the side of the cup. So I want to pour it onto the edge of the cup, so it's not a dirty pour, it's a more layered pour. Yeah, I was trying to think of the right word. My brain doesn't always function by the end of the day. Well, my brain doesn't always function completely, but we'll blame the end of the day, won't we? I may chuck a tad of black in this layer. And when I mean a tad, I mean just a little drip. Just to see if that darkens up some of these two pinks in some way. And where you put the black or the white, it will alter your picture. And now I'm going to put the white here. Oops. Because I've got to use the white for both colours. Don't use a lot of it either. I think I'm going to save a little bit more of this magenta to the end because there's a lot of it. I probably could have even gone, maybe done 3 layers, but and I got some new clear cups, but I didn't realise until I brought them, they're actually quite shallow. They're on special at a different shop, so I got them, but yeah, they're a lot more shorter than the other cups, so I don't think I'll be able to use them as my flip cup sizes unless I'm doing a multiple cup one. But I got them cheap, so that works out. A tad. Yeah, I just want a tiny bit there. I just want something to mix it up a little bit and hopefully give me, come on drip, a slight different colouring. Sorry if this is making a lot of noise. And a tad white. Again, not much, I don't think. I like adding the black and the white to things because it does give you a lot more contrasting colours. So, like this magenta, I'll get a lot lighter pinks out of the magenta, and even with that dawn colour, it will lighten the dawn up a little bit in some areas, and it could even give me some cloud effects. Not a lot because there's not a lot in there, but sometimes it does give you a little bit of a cloud effect. Not the same as if you were using proper cloud paint. I can't remember what it's called because I haven't actually brought it yet. One of the shops that I buy paints from said, are you interested in this? And I went, I don't know how to use that yet. So I said no, and now I wish I had brought some. So that's this cup. Hope you can see how pretty it is. I'll put that aside. And I'll start on this. So the opaque one is the turquoise. So that's going to go in the middle too. Actually, I'm going to put them there so if they drip at the same spot as the other ones. So again, I'll go with the colour I've got the most of first. So usually this turquoise is actually my thinnest paint, but it thickened up in time, so that was a little bonus. I don't mind adding a little bit more darker to this darker side. Come on, drip. So the white here will do the same again. It will change the colour of the turquoise and the cobalt blue to give me a slightly different blues in this, which should look cool. And when I start pouring, I will show you another difference I'm going to do with this kiss pour. I haven't done it before, so I don't know if it's going to look good or not. I think I saw it in a video that I don't know whether I actually saw it in a video or whether I thought about it when I saw someone doing a kiss pour once. I can't always remember. Sometimes I watch videos as I go to bed, and I don't know if I actually watched a video or whether I dreamt it. That sounds a little bit crazy, but that's what happens when you're watching videos late at night. Your brain doesn't always function. And it's like sometimes I remember seeing a video, but I have no idea who I saw it doing it, because I just had the video on while I was going to sleep. Yes, I watch pouring videos while trying to go to bed. Doesn't always help, because sometimes you end up staying up for an hour watching pouring videos instead of actually going to sleep. But I can tell you now, watching a pouring video sounds like a lot more better fun than actually sleeping. I only sleep because I have to, not because I really choose to. Imagine how many pourings I could do if I didn't have to sleep. That's 7 to 8 hours worth of actually mixing paints or pouring paints. Okay, so I'm not going to be too much longer. I try to do this quickly, but at the same time I don't want to mess it up because I'm rushing. Trying to keep all the colour on that one edge so I get the nice rings of the pour. There's not a lot of this one left, just a bit to top it off. So it's spring here now in Australia. So I'm actually excited because I think I will start being able to do a couple of varnishings on my paintings. Well, I probably might have to wait another 3 or 4 weeks until it warms up enough, but it was just so cold I didn't really want to varnish because I was worried how it was going to turn out. So for some reason, I don't know why, but I always have to put one colour, a certain colour one side, a certain colour the other. I'm a little bit OCD in that way. Okay. So these colours always go well together. Pinks, blues, purples always go well. And that melon sorbet is kind of a peachy colour. It's just gorgeous. So, and I think that would actually work well with these colours. So I've done my 2 little points. I'm just going to get lower down to the ground. I might have to get myself an adjustable table where I can... Actually, no, I need a stand. Otherwise I won't be able to do my new little thing. So I'm going to do the kiss pour, but I'm going to slowly go that way and then back that way as I'm doing it. So I'm hoping that that will give me a little bit of a different pattern. I don't know. This is what having fun's all about, is actually having the fun. So I'm going to make sure we're recording. Yes, we are. Okay. Here we go. So I'm trying to keep my cups in the same spot in the middle of the canvas while I'm just tilting my whole body, keeping everything straight, my back. I'm just turning my legs to get this effect. I'm not sure how it looks on the canvas, and I'm not going to stress. I'm just pouring it onto, trying to concentrate on the cups that they're always kissing. And then I'm relatively staying in the middle of the canvas. It's not always as easy as it seems. Now I'm getting down to the bottom of the cups. So what I do then is I just push my two cups together and hopefully that stops the drips. A little bit of a swirl. So there's still paint in these because I can't get the last bit out without tipping it and the cups separate. So I'm going to keep these aside and I will pour them onto coasters. I just buy a bunch of coasters, and when I get bits like that, I just pour it onto a coaster. If it looks good, it looks good. If it doesn't, who cares? It's a coaster. Okay. So I'm relatively in the middle of the canvas. But by doing that, I've kind of put pink in here and blue in here, and then blue again, then pink. So I think it's kind of swirled it a little bit. Now you just got to pick a side that you want to go off first. And I'm just going to take it easy this time. Sometimes I like to pour things off really quick. I do once it starts to go over the edge, then I go quicker. Whoops. Then I come back. And I'm going to do the opposite corner, which is down the bottom here. Okay, starting to go over, so whoop, and then back. Now this is where you got to hold the canvas properly, like tightly, because it starts getting slippery. So I'm going to go this way. I hope you can still see what's going on. Over the corner and come back. Pardon me. And there we go, the last corner. Over. Yep. And then bring the paint back to the middle, which I'm... Now, once you've done that, you got to look at it and think, I might just quickly touch up my corners with my pink hand on the pink corners and my blue hand on the blue corners. That finger's pink. So you got to try to pick a colour that's on a finger that matches what that corner has. Now from here you go, which part looks good and which part am I not as impressed with, and then decide if you want to pour that corner back off. So I don't really think any corner looks bad. I can't really see much of the melon, which is a little bit of a shame. I think I want to bring this pinker side a bit more and maybe take off some of this bottom corner here. Only because there's no corner that's badder than the other. I just feel that this corner has a little bit less interest than the rest. Now, I'm not going to pour off too much. So I'm starting to make my circle a square. And you don't want to do that too much. So now I'm bringing it back to try to make that shape a little bit more better. It's not going to stay a complete circle anyway, because this corner over here is kind of got a dip in it. Do I go this way a little bit more again? I'm kind of increasing my pink tones and blending off some of my blue and purple tones. So you pour it to a certain degree and then you tilt it back. Hope you can still see. And then you're stretching out all those colours on that corner. One thing about this painting, I'm glad the paint's a little bit thicker because I hope it stays. The canvas was not completely level, and it's the canvas, not my table. It's only a tad out, but sometimes your paint keeps pouring off. When I think this paint being so thick that it's probably not going to do it. I think I'm happy with that, so I'm going to get my gloves off. Oops, I just flicked paint on the floor. I'll have to remember that, otherwise I'm going to step in it in my socks that I've got on to keep my feet warm. Okay, so this has turned out okay. Not as much melon colour as I'd hoped. I would have preferred a bit more melon, but there's also not a lot of purple either. The melon and the purple kind of both disappeared a little bit. The purple's probably just mixed in with the other colours to give me different tones and that. So I am going to give it a slight torch. Let's see if this does anything. So using different paints, I've noticed when I do ring pours, if I use different paints I get different effects. Some of them give you, I knew it was going to go flamethrower on me. Some of them will give you more effects than others. And sometimes depending on what colours are next to each other, whether you get more effects or not. Alright, I don't think much is happening, but I just got rid of a couple of bubbles. So, I'm liking this. I think it looks pretty cool. Probably wouldn't have hurt if there was a little bit more black. But black is like that colour, you just got to be careful. You can overdo it and everything becomes very dark. I haven't got one here to show you. But some I do, they just come out so dark, it's quite disappointing. But it's what happens. So I I don't know if I did show you the infinity pour that was dry. So that's dry now. I'm loving these. Definitely I'm going to be doing another one. But that there's turned out really cool. There was another, oh, there's the other one. This one's got some silver in it. It is a little bit shiny on certain angles, but not a lot. But I love it how you've got the different streaks going through each other. This is probably more my favourite one out of the two, but it's dry now, so I'm happy. So the colours have stayed quite good. Maybe compared to the video, the turquoise darkened up a tad, but not very much. But it happens. Your dry painting to your wet painting doesn't always look identical. Sometimes it does, but not every time. And you've got to keep those things in mind. So this is it. Not much else I can do. There definitely is the pink and the blue going into each other. So from doing going that way, so you've got that blue coming through here and then the pink coming through quite well over here. Same with this one, there's pink there and then the blue comes in and around. Probably would be cool if I did it on a Lazy Susan, gave it a little bit of a spin before I started doing the pour and see how that works. But knowing my luck, the spinning will stop before I finish pouring. So I'm going to bring you down for a closer look. So there we go, this is what I see from my side. And let's just zoom into the middle. So you've got quite nice defined lines going into each other. You've got little effects like cells or bubbles or just colours that blend a little bit into each other. So you've got more of a bluey side, and then we come across to this pinky side which has a little bit of blue through it. So this is pretty cool. So one thing I like about doing pouring is I like to mix it up, do different stuff all the time. It might not be everyone's favorite doing a kiss pour. They might go, oh, I'm not interested, but you just pick and choose which videos you like. But at least you get to see quite a few different varied things. I can't really see anything in this picture, whether it looks like a dragon or anything. It just looks like swirls. But I'm liking it. I hope you do as well. So subscribe, share, like, leave comments, and I'll see you tomorrow where I'm going to do that large canvas, or the large board, MDF board, and I'll do something cool on that. So have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.